Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to another exciting Monday night of racing action here with the Alpha Touring Challenge. Right now, we are joining the drivers live on track at virtual Watkins, Glen. Beautiful night to go racing, or morning, I guess. It will be evening when the race comes, I do believe. But this is week 8 of a 13-week season, so we are deep into the middle of it. Can't wait to talk about the overall standings and all these drivers that have really shown some consistency throughout the year. Let's get to it, though. We've got quite a few drivers on the grid to talk about, and I'm looking forward to doing that with my good buddy Pim. Pim, how's it going tonight?
Oh man, it's going great, and we've been working very hard behind the scenes to get our broadcast a little bit more up to speed. Had some difficulties in Road Atlanta, and yeah, I'm hoping that when we see the start, and I'm not seeing any blinking cars.
That'll be the ultimate test here once we get all the over 30 drivers on the grid. Let's see. Yeah, 30, 31, something like that. So this is going to be really great, man. We're at the Watkins Glen, like we mentioned. The Cup layout, which for all the oval drivers will be very familiar with it. For all the road fans out there, basically what we've done is made sure we added the bus stop there, the chicane on the backstretch, and then cut out the boot. So once they get around the carousel, they're just going to come straight back with only 2 turns before that start-finish line. So this is going to be a very fast, very drafty track.
Chris, it's going to be a very exciting race, but I do want to have a quick look at the standings, current standings from this Alpha Tour Challenge up here. We see Logan McKenzie got finally his first victory in this season last time at Road Atlanta. Has 299 points and is really running away from basically everyone. It's funny to see that Francois Schink, the slug, is right behind there. And then you see Jerome Bajulas coming in there. And then we have our first rookie. James Carr is the rookie of the season so far. We're halfway through in, but great to see him on that top 5. And even more, maybe even more impressive, Wojciech Swiatovic being on the 6th place, not having done every race, but still there. So great from him over there. And then we see one of our favorites, Matthew Zepka, on that 7th position, 170 and then 97 points. Curious to see what he's going to do, if he's going to compete a little bit better, because I do have heard rumors that he haven't practiced in the night yet. And this is going to be a night race, or at least some parts will be night. So curious to see how he will manage that. Jacob Wally is back up at 8th position, and then Cody Huntley, David Bauer, Nick Beaver is rising through the championship and is really ended up currently at the 11th position, but sure that he's going to do a little bit better than that. And then one of my favorite drivers, Justin Rhodes, 12th position. He got a penalty last race, so apparently he's not that clean, but hopefully he will do better in this race. And then we see George Yonega and Ronald Mathel to bring up this final standings. So, yeah, lots of points already given, but we're only halfway through.
Exactly, lots of points to be had, and we do a couple different styles of races here. Which mixes it up in the amount of points that are kind of available to you as a driver. Some the alpha style here that we're doing tonight, basically the 1-hour timed race, may play to somebody's strengths, whereas the heat type racing that we do during other courses may play to other people's strengths, that short run speed. So it is far from over. We are taking the grid here. So let's take a look at where all the drivers kind of shook out. And it does look like Francois Schink is going to take the top spot there for us tonight on the pole position. And Matt Shepka is going to take the outside pole, man. We just saw him climbing through the ranks and having a really fantastic season. Good to see him up on the front row.
Yeah, it's a little bit surprised. Logan McKenzie, 9th position. I was expecting him a lot higher up, but of course, there is a lot of things can happen in this track. I do have to say I'm a little bit worried. We have, again, 30 drivers on the track. So let's see how my computer will hold and if we can actually see everything going. So far, so good. But that's going to be an exciting moment. We're waiting for our first lap.
This was a open qualifying session, so some of these drivers, it's very tough to compare straight up times so far, because some of the drivers were able to take advantage of that tow, some were not. And the other thing too is I saw a lot of incident points, a little bit off tracks being handed out during the qualifying session, which of course invalidates your lap. So that may have been a little on the drivers' minds a little bit, trying to hold back so that they actually set a qualifying time, period, dot. But here we go. We got the drivers coming down in turn one. This is where we're probably going to see a lot of the passes, if not most of them. That downhill right-hand sweeper, heavy braking zone after a nice long straightaway. So keep your eyes on that. And then it kind of whoops up this the hill on the S's here. This is a very interesting track. I haven't driven this in these cars, but I'll tell you what, in some cars, it's a lot of fun. You just kind of send it up the hill and hope for the best. And those blue walls.
I remember that race, Chris. I remember you going in a NASCAR race over here and just killing it. So I remember that chicane very well. You did that really good. What's basically the secret of that chicane?
Well, just keeping the car underneath you, because the basics of it is those blue walls will come out and bite you. And I don't know if these cars have the same problem since they're front wheel drive, but rear wheel drive cars, you can get the car unsettled going over some of those curbs, and the back end will just kick right out. But you can see them drivers going now through what I call the bus stop chicane there. You might see that's another heavy braking zone, so you might see some pass attempts going through there, but that's very difficult to go too wide. But I know these drivers have the skill to pull it off. Around the right turn carousel is what we call this turn here, and that's going to spit us out. Instead of going down the boot there, you can see the cones to the left. We're going to go straight, and this will take us.
Yeah, and it's a little bit different over here. There's no off-track on that part, so everybody can take as long as you want it over there. I'm not sure if it's quicker, but curious to see how many people will do that on that first lap. Because they do have to pay attention on their incident points. There is penalties involved. Looking up here, Francois Schink together with Mazepka is going over here for that first lap. It's going to be exciting. Great position for Mazepka. Go ahead.
That left turn, and then we got the final turn here. That'll take us to that start-finish line. You can see them slowing down. Pace car is off. Francois is going to get a huge jump there.
Oh, that's he got a really good run, and immediately the person behind him is also doing a nice job. Mazepka has to take it easy and is going to give that up corner, and George Onega is now in that second position, and I do think that even David Bauer is having a look, but Mazepka is not giving up.
These drivers were able to make it actually very cleanly for the first few turns. We climb the hill on the S's here and head down toward the bus stop. It does look like Matt's going to have a nice tow with Horace Zuniga right behind him. You can see Matt just kind of tapping the brakes there to maintain his position. Oh, and Horace Zuniga is going to go off. Or wait, no, who was that? Somebody was way off. I believe that might have been David Bauer. I apologize.
Well, David Bauer is currently still in that fourth position, but needs to fight now with Bajulats, who is always running fast. And I still see Wiley Cox, fifth position. And look at that in the back over there. They're fighting hard. What happened to Bauer? Bauer is dropping down.
Well, because of that, I do believe that's a huge slowdown penalty. So that's he probably had to pull off there and serve that penalty before the timer ran up. So see how that affects him. Not the way you want to start the race. But look at this, Logan McKenzie in sixth place. I thought Wiley Cox and the Slug were going to take it 3 wide there, but Logan can pull straight up ahead. Although Slug and Wiley are going to go 2 wide. And this is just a hornet's nest all the way behind them here. David Bauer found himself back there after that slowdown penalty.
Yeah, but at least I can see all the cars, so for me, fun is already halfway done. I don't want to say, like, where is the fight, because I think there's a lot of fights going on. Oh, look at that, Aaron Lyons, there's some issues.
That was a big wreck. I can't believe they saved that. August Blondell, and it was sideways going down the straightaway there. Absolutely sideways. I do not know how they made that work.
I'm going to have a quick look to check up with Matt Zepka because he's in a fight with Giorgio Nega. Needs to hold them off. But together they can actually run away, and it's Jerome Bajulas who needs to set now up that whole group over there. Cody Huntley right behind there, that red car. And then behind there is already Logan McKenzie, our current championship and current championship leader over here. While Matt Zepka is actually putting up the fastest time, and they're now running away a little bit, and we see a little bit further back, I think that's Sean Gurt with Ronald Medhot are now fighting with Aaron Lai again, and Aaron doesn't have enough of it. Look at that, he's gonna make a look. He's gonna see if he can actually come by. This is a long straight. He's mounting himself right over there, look at that.
Absolute. I mean, all the drivers are still within striking distance of one another. Just going to take a goofy off or something like that, and a lot can happen. These drivers are so close. But yeah, look at this back up front. Francois Schenk, Matt was able to get up to him, and then backs out and is able to get up to him. And Jorge is going to be right there waiting and for Matt to make a mistake. So Matt's got to kind of time his pass opportunities here very carefully.
Yeah, but he also needs to look out because I do think behind them there's a big fight going on. I see Logan McKenzie and the slug over there. I see Whitey Cox, James Carr, also big riders over here. And they're all going, well, very, very close together. I think the first group next to it is actually number 14, Justin Rhodes, who is now dropping off that part. That's really what we have over here, an hour-long concentrated races, and you need to follow the person next to you, because if you lose that draft, you're in big trouble. And currently it's Justin Rhodes who needs to fight for that. Oh, and look at that, the slug is going too wide with Cody Huntley, and they're actually making that work. But I do think that the slug is not making that move, and now needs to look out for Logan McKenzie. Of course, they communicate with each other, but I do think, and oh, look at that, he is pushing it and pushing it, and they're now both going to take a position over there. Is Logan also going to make that move? Look at that, Logan is on that inside line and can actually run that now, but needs to hold back. Great racing over here. Now that's that turn where we were talking about. In that first turn, can you make that happen? It does look like he has that inside. Logan makes it very, very difficult for them. And takes that inside line, and now is going there immediately. And I think Wiley Cox can actually benefit from that as well. Or is Cody Huntley fighting back?
Yeah, while they're doing this, unable to pass one another, Slug's kind of walking away to try to catch Jerome Bajulas there, but these guys are trading off, going 2 by 2
and two,
yeah.
Look at this, beautiful how they get through here. Oh, Cody Huntley was a little bit off, but is on the end of the bus stop, he's back on there, but now he has to slow down, and that's gonna hurt him a lot, and he needs to now slow back up to that first pack, or to that second pack maybe. That's even and that's how important it is to drive safely over here. A little bit up the front, Francois Schenk and George Zunega are now 1 and 2, and a little bit behind is Matt Zepka. Looks like he's already starting with fuel saving. He's now needs to just hold on his horses, and a little bit further back over there we see Jerome Bajulas and the slug. And then it's going, oh, who's coming over there? Jacob Wally gets on the inside, Daniel E. Smith.
Well, back up front real quick there, Pim. We've got some bump drafting for the lead here. Does look like Jorge's going to back out going into the bus stop there. Smart. It's very difficult if you don't get that braking zone the exact same as the driver in front of you.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
going to ruin
yeah.
both of your races.
So
So,
this is what Zuniga is going to try. He's going to try to push Francois Schenk so much that Zepka is actually going to run away, because they do have a 0.7 seconds. And if they can make that a little bit longer, then it's only going to be the two of them. But I see that Zepka is getting a little bit closer. There is a fight going a little bit further in the back. They're going 2 by 2. It's James Carr and Daniel E. Smith who has to fight over there. But I think they hold it on.
a little bit of contact. It looks like David Brower's going to take advantage of that as well.
I know those sprint races are always very tight, and we need to work on those. But man, this is already a fight. We're only 7 minutes in, and we see so many people still very close to each other. Zuniga is basically just pushing Francois Schenk and says, let's go, we need to get away from Matt Zepka. But Matt is holding on.
Further in the back there, we've got Brandon Shelton in the 24 car, just made a pass going down into turn 1. So he will get back to his starting position. I think he had an earlier race incident there, but right now he's going to try to chase down Stephen Cooper and bring along Chase Gurr.
Yeah, it's a big pack right in front of him. If he can catch up there, then he's good to go. And it does look like he's a lot faster than and he gets now past, or at least they go side by side. I think that's Gurr who's trying to get him a little bit out of his concentration. Now goes to the other side, and they're going 3 wide over there. All right, so Cooper is out, and now still Shelton for that 24th position over there. Holds on his horses, and I do see there's a front change. I see the Slug actually gets past Jerome Bajulas. So surprising to see the Slug not in the first position, but is now fighting to get any closer. He's 6 positions up and is on that 4th position. Right behind him is Bajulas, and they're trying to see if they can come up to Matt Zepka.
Well, you can see on the intervals on the timing tower, there's just too many battles to call here, and a lot of action throughout the field. We had Cody Hunley and John Lazan there in P12. These guys were going side by side up the S's, making it work here through the carousel, but you can tell John's really got a head of steam here. Oh man, he thought about throwing a little bit of a block there, Cody did, but thought better of it, and they're going to go side by side down into turn 6. A little over-under action, a little whoopsie-doodle.
Yeah, look at that, John Lozan back from a long holiday. I know he was actually making a move and had to build up his whole rig. Has done that and immediately back on a 12th position. Good for Beaver Bus, because of course we also have a team standing, and we do some work in team standing. I can have a quick look if we can get some numbers up. I do see that currently they're on the 4th position. Yellow Flag Motorsport is on that 1st position. That's with Logan McKenzie and the Slug, who are doing again a great job over here. But what about Matt Zepka from the, what is it, Torque Racing team?
Here.
Yeah, they're doing, he's doing really well. With him, there's also Ray Bartnikowski currently on the 22 position, and he's in a hard battle with Eric Stutzer on the moment. He's really pushing him through that bus stop. All right, I'm going to go back to
Aaron Law may be in there. Look at that, the battle for 16th here. I believe that's another Torque steer making the pass through turn 6.
Yeah, and you see right behind there JB Descheux, who's actually trying to see if he can make some move, and he's getting really, really close right over there. And I also see August Blondel now making moves.
Big contact.
Where?
Wiley Cox falling down the field now. He is 18th, 19th, and falling.
It was in that first corner right over there while he was getting over there, getting into that inside, and then, His car doesn't look that much damage, but yeah, that's gonna be very painful. He was doing so well in this race. He's currently, where is he? Oh, he dropped all the way down. At least I think he's still not done yet.
Yeah, I'm confused. David Bauer, I believe, was involved in that incident, and he's slow on the track. I don't know.
Well, doesn't seem that slow to me. I do see
Yeah,
a
well,
lot of damage on the back over there. So yeah, then he will have some parts over there. In the front, we still see Francois Schenk, George Zuniga, and Matt Zepka. And then a little bit further back, the slug is now 3.3 seconds. I'm curious what they're going to do, because I do think that the slug needs to drive a little bit quicker if he wants to get those guys.
Yeah, Francois is kind of leading the way. I don't know if, I mean, Jorge's in a great spot here because he can, I'm imagining he's saving just a little bit of fuel. I don't know these touring cars, how big of a factor it is, but clearly is in that tow and could probably make a pass here on one of these straightaways, but is opting not to, and instead just taking full advantage of the hole that Francois is punching through the air.
Yeah, and I'm not sure about Matt Zepka because he is a little bit further back, and I do think he's really fighting to hold on over there. I'm not sure if he's already saving. I have some resources that told me that they're probably the window is going to open at 25 minutes and is going to close till 45. So we're going to see many different strategies over here. But currently, I do see that Francois Schenk is running very, very smoothly. Behind him, Zuniga, and still Matt Zepka. How is Logan McKenzie doing?
Seems to be holding serve right now in P6. He's up 3 spots overall, so a nice steady climb there. Kind of what you want. Like you mentioned, this is a very long race. I mean, we're only 18 minutes into an hour-long race. Or I'm sorry, 14 minutes in. So even more, even more time. There's certainly no, and we're gonna have a pit stop. We're gonna go 3 wide here back in P15. I'm sorry, P16. Alex Blondell, Sean Gurr, JB DeJoe, they do get it sorted out. We're single file now, but holy cow. Turn 1 was a exciting affair there for these drivers, and man alive, I don't know. A little further up, Ronald Methot and Jacob Wally and Cody Hunley, these guys have been kind of in contact.
Look at this! Whoa! Gert and I think
big
it's
one.
New driver.
Oh, and rain. Oh, they're stacking up the field even more. Unreal! What a huge
Let's
wreck.
have a quick look what exactly happened over there. Look at that! They're going side by side, and then it's just stacking up and hitting some more.
Oh. Yeah, that is not a safer barrier, ladies and gentlemen.
All
my
right.
Goodness. It's going to take a lot of good cars out.
Well, my computer was a little bit shaking on that one, but yeah, I can imagine I would be shaking on that one. I don't think Francois Schenk and George Zuniga had any clue about that. Look at that. They're just playing... Francois Zuniga can actually move away. I think they had a little bit too much contact over there. But look at that, he's just pushing him and pushing him.
He's gonna let Matt get right up there onto the bumper.
Yeah, what would you do, Chris? Would you at one point also overtake and just, you know, do a frog hop?
At this point, unless you feel like you just have a tremendous amount of pace over the driver in front of you, there's no reason. It does not look like the draft is going to allow you to really just walk away with this one. So. Enjoy the fuel savings, however little it may be, and just basically try to separate yourself there with fuel strategy. And I don't know, we've heard different things about tire strategy in these cars before. I'm also going to be wondering to see who decides to throw some fresh rubber on there and who doesn't.
Yeah, and that's going to be a little bit difficult always because we don't see everything here on the broadcast. But yeah, that is something else. We most of the time see it on the times. Currently, we're looking at that group of 3. Yeah, I don't think that that's going to change that much. Or is it going to change? Zuniga is now actually going side by side. Is he going to say, I had enough of it. Now I'm going to make that move. Look at that. He is going to make that move, and it's now Francois Schenk on the second position. Is Matzepka going to go by as well? Yes, he's going to at least give it a shot. And they're now going a little bit back and forth, and that means that the slug immediately comes back. Look at that. 2.5, 2.4, 2.3. That group is going to come back. And you see that Ronald Method is going also side by side over there with Cody Huntley and Aaron Law. I think right behind there. He has the best view of that fight. But they all get clean out of the bus stop and now moving along.
I think it's a little early to pit based on that intel that you got, but that would be the only thing I could think is maybe Jorge wanted to get out in front for the actual pit stop itself and dictate the braking zone and just kind of have a clean track ahead of him. But he is, I mean, they're recording a little bit, but
yeah, but I do have to say the slug is just coming closer and closer, and he's together with Bajalas and his teammate Logan McKenzie. So if they can,
we got another car off.
Where?
P14, Jacob Wally, P14. Another sideways car again down into turn 1. Looks like he was going 3 wide with Justin Rhodes and Cody Hunley, and they took that 3 wide down into turn 1, and there's
yeah, and I do want to give a shout out for Rhodes, because it was not his mistake. He was on the outside, didn't do anything. Such a clean driver. How is he actually doing? My favorite driver.
That's right, man. He's up 3 spots, up to a top 10 finish right now if he can hold on to that. But he's got Cody Huntley.
Yeah, exactly.
Hoping to take
Cody Huntley says, well, I want to have that top 10. So they're going to make it very nice. But I think he holds it on over here. This is going to be a nice group with Ronald Method, Aaron Law behind them. This is really your 4th group up here that we see now getting back together, but they're not working together at all as we see in the first groups over here. And Cody Huntley is going to try it again. And again, this is working, and now he's making a nice overtake. But immediately Rhodes is going to come back, because we have another long straight up here, and they're really pushing each other through that little S's.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there we go.
It's gonna be fun. Yeah, good call there. Kind of back that out. Oh, you can see the car get a little unsettled, so he's gonna have to collect that. They're stacking up behind him, Ronald Method and Aaron Law. Definitely, though, where cooler heads prevail, and realizing that you still have way more than halfway of this race. Little mistakes here and there.
And if we go a little bit further up the road, John Lozon is for that position number 9 together with Daniel Smith. And they're also like stuck to each other. It used to be up there, a lot of off-track was not an off-track, and you have to be very careful over there right now. Oh, and they're going side by side right now in the S's. That can't go very well. Daniel Smith is going hit the barrier, still is in that fight, and now he's actually holding back. Is he going to make that move? Is he going to at least show himself? I would do that. I would just show myself. We're there holding on, and John Lazar from Beaver Buzz, what is it? Beaver Bus Racing. He's on the 8th position. Very, very nicely done, and is coming back quite hard. I think you see James Carr going off a little bit over there. Maybe they can even come back to him, and that's going to be an interesting couple again.
Back in 10th spot, Cody Huntley was finally able to make his way around Justin Rhodes for that 10th spot, but Ronald Method and Aaron Law are still right there. I do not believe
Yeah, and
that this fight is over.
let's go for another change in the front, because I do see François Schink now taking the lead from George Onega, and George Onega falls back to third position. Metzepka on the second position, and the Slug now on 1.4 seconds. So we're going to see it. This is going to group of 6 cars that are coming all back together.
Well, I don't know if that was a really awesome pass, or it looked like Jorge may have just pulled to the inside there and let those guys by. Potentially just wanted to lead a few laps and just get back into the tow.
What I don't understand is that Logan McKenzie is right behind Jerome Barjolas, and the Slug is actually trying to get away from them. So it looks like that the Slug is so quick that he can actually get away from Barjolas. That would mean that we only get a group of 4. Because it's only a matter of time before we see the Slug back up there with that group. Is it going to be the next lap or the lap after that? Oh, look at that. Sunday guys again going into a battle. Those guys are battling so hard that the whole group can come back. I'm curious, is Logan McKenzie going to make a move? Or is he just going to wait?
That's tough. Both these drivers have pace, so again, you know, unless he feels like he can lead those guys back up to the Slug.
Yeah, exactly. He's losing the Slug, and the Slug is now right in there, and it's now a group of 4 that is battling, and I think Metzepka needs to look out, because I think the Slug is really having a lot of speed, and I'm curious to see when is he going to make a move, or is he going to now hold on and wait for his team member?
Logan is in a good spot here too, and we see Ronald Methot make a move for P11 there on Justin Rhodes through the carousel. They're going to take it too wide down into turn 6, but yeah, Logan McKenzie's in a good spot where he's got a pretty commanding lead in the championship points right now. So you always want to have that fire and that desire to go out and win every single race, of course, but he understands the...
Yeah, and look at this. It is Logan McKenzie now taking that spot. I told you so. You didn't think it was going quick enough, and now Logan McKenzie is on that 5th spot, trying to see if he can get any closer to the Slug. Currently 2.4 seconds behind. I think the Slug is going to make a move. He is getting really close to Metzepka. Is he going to make it difficult? Of course he's going to make it difficult. Look at that. Too wide. Is he going to make another move? Or is it just going to be one? Just one for now. The Slug moved up to the 3rd position.
Well, Logan's now 2.3 seconds behind these drivers, behind Matt Shepka specifically. So we'll keep an eye on that interval, see if Logan can start to close that gap.
Yeah, I do have to say there's a nice group behind them because it's not only Logan, it's Jerome Barjolas, it's James Carr, John Lozan, Daniel Smith. If he's a little bit faster and he can catch up with that group, and yeah, then it's basically the top 9 all up there. And look at this, they're going side by side. Where Logan goes, Jerome goes.
I will point out, Aaron Law did make his way down pit road, I believe, in what we believe to be the very beginning of the pit window. JB Dejoux and Chase Gurr also down pit road as well. So you start to see some takers.
Yeah, we do see. Sorry, Chase is actually standing up for his tires. Oh, and look at this. François Schink. The Slug is now up to that 2nd position. Moved just over there, just before the bus stop. And is now up for that 2nd position. Zuniga in the 3rd and Metzepka over there. And I think a little bit further back, and we see John Lozan going too wide with James Carr. Man, what a fight everywhere. You would think after 30 minutes they would slow down a little bit, but no way. There is fighting everywhere, and I do want to have a quick look what the Slug is going to do, because the Slug is now looking on Francois Schink. Has passed already so many people. His 8th position's up and is moving along, and he wants to have that first spot. I do see the sun going down a little bit, so interesting to see if that's going to play a part in this race.
Yeah, these top 3 under a blanket. Matt Shepka starting to fall back just a touch, but it looks like we are going to go too wide. With a pusher there with Jorge for the lead. Looked like he might have tried to push the Slug right into that top spot there a little bit.
Yeah, now
he's going to make the move.
Oh, this is either going to work or we're all going to crash out. And maybe that's the reason why Matt Zepka is going a little bit on the back. He's thinking, you know what? Let them fight it out. And they're now going side by side. The Slug is now in that first position. There's Francois Schink together with Zunega, who are fighting for that second spot. You have to pay attention about the Slug. Let's have a drive with him. If you see just before the corner, he goes a little bit wider to get a bigger angle. He really plays around with that sliding of the car.
He paid for the whole track. He's going to use it.
Oh, look at that.
Got 2.
Zunega.
Yep.
Hey, and Logan McKenzie, did you pay attention? Logan McKenzie, don't look now, but 5th position, 4 positions up, and he is closing that gap. It's now only 1.1 seconds. I think it's going to be after this bus stop. He's going to be in draft range, and that would help him a lot. And then behind him, we see, yes, is that correct? We see actually 2 team members fighting now. Jerome Bajulas and John Lozon.
Logan was able to cut that lead in half since the last time we checked in, and it is just, they're all in the same picture now. And so is the Canadians here, Bajulas, Lazan, and Carr. These guys have joined the fray. And we got a battle for the lead now again. Zunega and the Slug going back and forth. I'll be really interested to see if anybody decides to try to come down pit road. You got to wonder if Logan and Slug, now that Logan's remade contact with this group, if they're going to try to coordinate that, still have draft partners.
Exactly. And what do you think? Like, there's going to be traffic behind you. And there's a reason why you're driving in front of him, because you're probably quicker. So do you want to be back in that traffic again? I think that's going to be difficult. I think they're going to stay out as long as possible and think at least those leaders. I do think that Jacob Wally had an incident in that new, I do want to mention that Axiom car. Have you seen that one, the 827? It's a new team he's running together with... I'm not sure where's the other Wally. Oh, that's Joshua Wally, number 17th, 11 positions up. I think he's the first time that he joins us, but great to see him. And he's in a fight with Aaron Lan. Aaron Lan's just going to overtake him over here.
Yeah, Joshua having a great evening so far, up 10 spots like you mentioned there now. Looked like he just took it a little wide there in turn 6, still lost that one, but still that's a strong showing.
That's a very strong standing. It's actually one of the strongest one. Only Joe Lozon is getting close with 9 positions up, currently in that 6th position. Although he is losing a little bit of time on Logan McKenzie. Maybe that fight with Jerome did take him a little bit more. But yeah, it's now a complete group together. We see the Slug together with George Zunega, and then a little bit behind there is Francois Schink and Matt Zepka. Matt Zepka is also not done yet, but needs to look out because Logan McKenzie has arrived, and he will make a spot over here. I'm curious to see what they're going to do before this bus stop. Is he going to make a move or is he going to wait? For 30 minutes, we're halfway through this race.
Zunega and Slug are basically connected here. I thought their cars may have been.
Luke Schwarzenegger, he's really using all the curb that is possible. A little bit further back, we see Justin Rhodes with Ronald Mathot in a very, very tight fight. I don't think they're going to make it up there. And I think over in the back, who is that? That's Jacob Wally again. Isn't it? Yeah, that's Jacob Wally.
All right, again, word matchup is going to pit in this time by. Nobody joins him.
Ooh, that's going to be a tricky move. Is that going to be the winning move, or is he going to lose touch with that first group? We've seen him. He's done a very good qualification, so we know he can do it very well. He doesn't need this whole group. Maybe that's the point. Maybe he's just going in here and now winning this part over here. As I do see that Logan McKenzie was going a little bit wide and now losing the draft a little bit with Francois Schenk again. Needs to fight back yet again, but now with Jean Lozon right behind him. Ooh, Jean Lozon's going to take it too wide over there. Look at that. They're going too wide into the chicane or not. No, he's backing out. But his teammate Jerome Bajolas is completely coming back, and maybe he can help him with Logan, because it seems to be that Logan is very, very hard to pass, and he is already back in Francois Schenk's side. So what do you think? Well, if Metsepka is if they think he's in danger, then they're going to pit right now as well.
Yeah. I was keeping an eye on where he came out and where the leaders were. They were in the outer loop, also known as the carousel. So, roughly half a lap there. Just something to keep in mind for all the viewers at home. When you see the drivers come in, that'll give us a good indication of, depending on where Matt is.
Well, and Matt doesn't have any traffic in front of him, so he has a great drive for now and can actually just move along and drive his own little pace. And that's different from the Slug, who constantly needs to watch where is Senega. What am I doing over here? Francois Schenk is also dropping back a little bit. Curious to see if that's going to be enough. And is Senega going to make a move? Look at that, he's pushing and pushing and pushing.
Quick note, roads, gird, and stats are all done. So we've got this top 7. It does... Well, man, I thought maybe Zuniga was going to look the outside Slug.
Zuniga looks dangerous the whole time.
So we'll see what happens, but yeah, these guys still doing battle. This is gonna be the top 7, though, that are still. You can see the intervals there on the timing tower. It's not until you get James Carr to Daniel Smith that's an almost 6-second gap, and so that's where the first real big break is now. That being said, we do have some drivers who have pit, and that number is continuing to grow. Only 11 drivers have not hit yet. Now, that being said, some drivers may have come, or I'm sorry, 12 drivers. Some may have come down pit road unrelated to the actual pit stop. They may have stopped.
Yeah, and I'm trying to see how does Metsepka do? What are his times?
So his last time by, I think he's still got he was still on his out lap, so we'll have to wait for the next time by for a good indication. But oh no, a 116.81. So
he's completely back up to speed.
Yeah, running. Oh, Slug's gonna come down pit road this time as well. Jorge's backing off just a little bit.
Well, that's a quick look. Is the group going to follow? The Slug has announced that he's going in. Is Zuniga going to follow? And it does look like they're both going in. And that means that also now we have some team tactics. Jerome Bajolas stays out. Logan McKenzie stays out. But Zuniga, Lozon, and Daniel Smith are going in. And that means that Francois Schenk is back in the front. Logan McKenzie now on that second spot.
Well, either way, we had Matt Shepka be the first person in, so let's keep an eye on where that 490 car is. He's coming around turn 6, which is the second to last turn. He's now making that right-hander around turn 7, coming down the start-finish line, so keep an eye on Slug.
Well, the Slug
looks like he may have tapped the wall.
And I do see that the Slug is coming out right now. But he doesn't have that speed, and it does look like Medzepka has done an enormous job and is now taking that lead. He's getting actually out of that draft if he has done it really well. Yeah, he has done it really well. And look at that, he is now our virtual leader. And that does need to give a message to Logan McKenzie and Francois Schink. I know that they're in communication, Logan McKenzie and the Slug. So is Logan McKenzie going in as well? Yes, I do believe.
Francois
they're
down.
all going in.
Jerome.
Oh, they're not
Logan
going
and
in.
James.
Oh,
Yeah.
Logan McKenzie is not going in. Look at that. The champion currently and champion leader of this season is not going in and takes that first position. We've seen some nice fighting with the whole group. He wants to stay out. He wants to drive his own speed. I do feel that the Slug is already back up to Medzepka. Tire warning, that's not necessary with the Slug. He just continues and is immediately back up to speed. Francois Schink and Bajulas are still in that pit, or going into the pit right now.
John Lazon coming back down pit road. You gotta wonder if that's maybe
okay.
a speeding penalty.
Oh. Oh, and Bajulas was with Francois Schink, actually passed him over there. So the Slug is now behind Clement, then it's Jerome, and then Francois Schink. And George Onega is all the way behind there, and he's immediately looking in. Is he going to make it too wide over there? Oh, and
all right, Logan McKenzie.
Now. Okay. Logan McKenzie
Yeah,
is
Logan
in
McKenzie
one.
and James Card. Yep.
Looking at the rule for position number 10, it's Justin Rose, Dave Bauer, Jacob Wally, Aaron La. Well, who's not in there? I think John Lozon is back in there. The big group going to the bus stop, and yeah, that's going to be exciting. They're going 2 wide. Are they going to take it 3 wide? No, it seems that 2 wide is enough. Okay, let's have a quick look because I'm curious about James Carr and Logan McKenzie. They're now standing still in the pit stop, and it's Medzepka still in that lead, coming on to the straight right now. What happens with? Oh, look at that!
Logan is
James
out.
Carr is actually quicker out. Am I correct? No. Okay. Logan McKenzie is out, but he doesn't have that speed, and it will be Medzepka now. Or he will. Oh, wow.
Yeah, Logan. Oh, and James
Nice.
Carr gonna fill in right in front of Slug. So now Logan McKenzie's got a 0.8 second lead. It's up to Matt in the 490 to catch back up, make contact once again, and carry basically Carr and Slug with him.
Wow, that's an interesting move, and also I'm curious to see what the Slug is going to do. He now needs to work 1 step further. Thought he was only going to have Medzepka, but has now James Carr and also, of course, Logan McKenzie, who still is on that first position. We have a lot of fans in the house for Medzepka, but it's the Slug now who takes that position from James Carr and is now behind Medzepka again, so that's 1.
He's announced to Carr has announced over the radio that he's pitting in. He said race over. I'm not 100% sure
No!
what happened.
I am not sure what happened, but that doesn't sound very good. And he is in the pit, so he will say goodbye. But that means that it's now up to Logan McKenzie and Medzepka, who are trying to see if they can run away. But of course, the Slug is right behind there, and he now needs to fight with Jerome Bajulas.
Got a pass for P10 going down to turn 1.
We were looking at the same thing. Justin Rhodes, Ronald Metal, Jacob Wally, and John Lozon are there. Basically, this big group all want to go into that position number 9, or at least in that top 10. But currently, it's Jay Rhodes and Jacob Wally who have that. But John Lozon wants to have it. All right, let's keep a close eye on.
I believe that we've made it through the pit stops here, even the ones who registered super early for potential incidents. So except
And
for
look at
maybe a
this, look at
handful.
this,
But
look
look
at
at
this,
this,
Matt
Matt.
Zepka. First time,
Ooh,
he
he
wanted
thought
to
about
warn
it.
Logan McKenzie. Yeah, but it's just a warning, first warning. 15 minutes in, great race for Matt Zepka so far. He's going to make a big jump, and is he going to make it so far that he can actually win this race? What success would that be? His biggest fan, Peter Lee, is not here on the moment, but I know that he will root him on very surely. Look at it, they're going... but the slug is getting closer, and I now see Jerome Bajulas has some issues with George Lega.
Does look like, by the way, Alex Othon is watching and cheering Matt on as well, so he'll have to stand in there for Peter. And John Lazan, Justin Rhodes, my goodness.
It's so funny.
Oh,
Justin Rhodes got passed over there by John Lazal, but I'm not sure if that was on the track. And I think now Justin Rhodes goes to the outside. That means that he's probably having an off track and needs to give up a lot of time. But look at this group. Aaron Laag back up to 13th position. 5 positions up from where he was. And look at that, Rhodes is still not done, needs to hand it over to Huntley, and they're going now side by side in that last corner.
Man, I love these cars. Bounce off each other's doors there, and doesn't seem to be any worse for the wear. I wouldn't recommend it.
Like we're going side by side. Oh! And Justin Rhodes
No
can hold
love
that car over there. But that was slowly, maybe even an incident. And while I say that, I do want to focus on our first position because we missed Matt Zepka. Took that position from Logan McKenzie. Let's have a quick look how that went. It was, of course, on the straight just before the bus stop. And yeah, that's where he took him. And the slug couldn't do anything else. They were both watching. And look at that. Now we see Matt Zepka in front of Logan McKenzie and the slug. Well, let's see if there's some team play going on. Is it going to be now taking turns to see if they can pass Matt Zepka? And is Matt Zepka going to hold that? He has 15 more minutes to get his first victory in this Alpha Touring Challenge. I would love to know the heart rate of Matt Zepka right now. And you know what? He's setting the fastest time. 1.16 over there. Look at that. Matt Zepka is in the zone.
Well, we do have a slug fan out there, Sean Harper. So we've got dueling fandoms for the race lead here. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch. We've got still 15 minutes left to race. Quite a few laps.
Yeah, finally the battles are a little bit more over, but not in this first position. We've never seen it this close. We always say like, okay, why do we need to drive an hour? In 45 minutes, it's pretty much clear what we're seeing. Now that's not the case. Matt Zepka, Logan McKenzie, the slug, and Zuniga.
And it just occurred to me why we may have seen cargo on a pit road. We do have incident penalties every 9 incidents. So imagine that would be the case. Oh,
but then you can come back to the track.
Yeah, it certainly can. It's got to be super frustrating though. We got another great battle. Let's look back for P9, Ronald Method trying to hold off Jacob Wally, John Lazan. These guys continuing to try to sort out that last top 10 position. We always say, you know, it's only one position here or there, but having a top 10 under your belt, that just sounds so much better.
In this field with like 30 drivers, yeah, that's definitely a given. I do want to have a quick look at the front because I see that again, Bajaras is trying to see if we can overtake François Sink, and that works just before the bus stop. So they're switching positions, but that does mean that they're losing time over here. Are they losing
3 wide
enough?
for P9. 3 wide for P9. Oh, man. Sorry.
Ronald, come on, give us the 3 wides. But it's not Ronald because he was smart enough to get back. But it is John Lazar with Jacob Wally over there, who are battling again. Jacob Wally in that new car, the Axiom racing team, which they're doing quite well. It's nice to see that they started up here. And he's now on that famous 10th position, but is trying to get a little bit further.
Oh, man. They're going to make contact.
Yeah, and we're now in that last part of the race where you don't need any more incidents. But Matt Zepka is still in the lead. We're going to have a quick look if he's going to hold that off over here. Because it does look like Logan McKenzie is going to make it 1 wide to 2 wide. Or no, it's the Slug actually. Wow, the Slug is going to take it and everybody's moving past Matt Zepka. Would that be, is this be a tactic? Because now suddenly we see Logan McKenzie and the Slug in that first position, first and 2 position. So this team is doing very, very well.
I think Matt was too nice there. That's my 2 cents. Way too nice. Gave them all. I know he's a very clean racer. That's hats off to him for that. But man alive.
Well, race is not over yet, but maybe he can work together with Zuniga because they do need to come up with a plan to actually pass those 2 drivers over there. Logan McKenzie and the Slug both have won a race. Do you know how many race winners we have in this race from this season?
Question.
Maybe it's a good question for our chat. Winner gets a free booth experience.
There you go.
And I'll give it away. It's actually 6. It's only Wojciech Swiatovic who actually won twice. So for the rest, we have always another winner. But it's now Logan McKenzie and the Slug who are going side by side. Team members, no way. They're actually making it very, very exciting. And or are they defending over there? Were they defending for George Zuniga? And George Zuniga is going to say, you know what, I'm going to go past. Whoa. It's not the last lap yet, but I do think that Logan McKenzie is now going to fight and see if the Slug actually can get away. And know those team members are going to play a part in this role. And Matt Zepka, all alone from his team, needs to make sure that he can hold on to these guys. How's it going for position number 10? Are they still holding on?
Does appear that they have kind of settled down a little bit back there for P10. John Lazon's going to take P9, Big Wall in 10th, and Ronald, I thought, in
a little bit further back, we see JB Desjeux, Eric Stetzer, Charles Geert fighting over there. And I think Daniel Cedeno is really too far away to actually catch up on that. Because we are going into our last 10 minutes. But this could be a nice little battle for position number 15, roughly. And look at this. Here we go again. Logan McKenzie and George Zuniga. George Zuniga doesn't have enough. Wants to see blood and is now going side by side into the bus stop. They're going to make this work. And they're not going to make this work. And they're hitting each other. And that means that Matt Zepka can take that position. But a nice move from Logan McKenzie by holding that car. And now just needs to hold back and get back in line. But this means that the Slug is really running away. I want to bet you that this was a tactic from this team. Make them fight in the back and Slug can run away in those last 10 minutes. But he needs to be careful. And it's not done yet.
It is definitely not done yet. You know that Jorge was really trying to get past Logan there. He felt like he had the speed. So here we go. With inside of 9 minutes now almost remaining. He's got a few laps here to try to make that up. I'm sure Matt's going to work with him.
Oh, look at this, and that's going far wide from George Zuniga. And that is going to be an incident. I'm not sure if you can see the incidents, Chris, but that I'm very, very curious to see how much he has and if that's enough. I think he has 6. That wouldn't be too much. But that means that he can't do anything else anymore. And we see Logan McKenzie trying to see every corner from Matt Zepka. But it's still not possible. Matt Zepka is very, very well defending currently that 3rd position. But maybe they can work together and see if they can catch up with George Zuniga. And look at this, Logan McKenzie. He's going to make it. They're going side by side for that third position. Oh.
Little touch.
Little touch. It sounded more than it was, I think, and they can move along. But it is Medzepka who can hold it off, and they need to get at least 1.2 seconds, because I do see that Zuniga is now getting any closer, and again Logan McKenzie is now going for that inside line. And this is going to cost them. This is going to cost them. Is this going to cost a victory for Logan McKenzie and Medzepka? Or are they going to get back to the Slug and Georgianega? Georgianega is now getting really close to the Slug.
Oh, this will be one to watch here. We've got Cody Hunley and Justin Rhodes in P13. These guys going side by side down into turn 1 as well. So not the only action on track up front. Man alive.
Yeah, and of course, when we say that, we do see Francois Schink now overtaking Jerome Bajulas. They overtake every time on the same moment. Yeah, let's do it. I think they coordinate that. Georgianega is now really in the back of the Slug.
About 1.6 seconds is the gap back to Logan McKenzie. Matt Shepka has basically drafted up onto him, so let's see if those two can catch back up here. 1.65 seconds now for thereabouts across the start-finish line. Looks like everybody's kind of holding serve for right now. We are approaching the 54-minute mark. Our 1-hour race, so keep your eyes there on that. We'll try to get a white flag indication here when the time is appropriate.
Yeah, I think Medzepka stopped the fight currently. He lets Logan McKenzie come back and see if they can actually still come back into this fight. We still have 7 more minutes, and Georgianega is just pushing the Slug on the moment. And I think right behind there is Francois Schink still fighting with Jerome Bajulas. And then there's a little bit of nothing, and then Daniel Smith comes further along with James Carr. And a little bit further back over there, we see John Lozan is actually getting away from Jacob Holly and Ronald Method, who are still in that battle for, I think, position 11 currently. Yeah, we do see more people going into the pit. That is all by penalties that they're going to get. They need to do a drive-through, and we do see Georgianega now. Yeah, Georgianega is going to have a look on that inside. It's going to go to the outside. It's moving everywhere.
So tough to defend at a track. Track with this one's trapped. They're going to go side by side down into the bus stop.
Well, no, he overtakes him over there. Really nice move from Zuniga. That means that the Slug needs to fight back, and that means that Logan McKenzie is certainly getting a lot quicker back. And Medzepka. Medzepka fans, don't worry, because he is back up there, and I see Cody Huntley going back in for a pit violation or something of a penalty, and oh wow, 5 minutes before time, and we're all back to these 4 drivers.
Behind Matt, it's 8 seconds, almost 9 seconds back to Francois Schenk and Jerome Bajulas, who are having their own awesome battle there for that final top 5 position.
Yeah, and what do you think about the team standings? Finally, we have 2 teams. I think Bajulas will be very happy that John Lozan is back and immediately scoring a top 9. So not bad for the points. They will make some things work. But I do think this last 4 minutes we need to have a look if the Slug is going to do anything. Logan McKenzie is now straight behind him, so they can make the pressure of working together. And what about Medzepka? Is Medzepka going to make the move? Is he have the possibility to do anything?
Those gaps continue to shrink as we tick down the timer. Crossing this time by should be about 3 minutes or so remaining. So we've got just a couple more laps here, ladies and gentlemen, to sort this out. And all that matters, the only lap led that matters is that final one.
Yeah, I do have to say this is an amazing race. It's very, very late. I'm very tired, but wow, they make it work up here. George Nega, the Slug, Logan McKenzie, and Matt Zepka making the fight till the end.
Well, let's see. Slug is getting a huge toe down that back straight there going into the bus stop. Logan now able to be there maybe for a little bump drafting help like we saw before. And Matt Shepka, all these cars now under a blanket. So any one of these drivers, I think, really realistically within striking distance if we get another couple laps in here.
Yeah, I'm very happy to see that our stream is holding up and that they have such an interesting fight. But Chris, which we always talk about it, and I want to know really now, which position would you like to be? Again, when you also have your team member right up there in that group as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think.
And while we say that, while you talk about that, we are going to look at Aaron Lai and Ronald Metals, who are again in a battle.
Well, we've got, second position there, I think, has got to be the place to be, especially if you've got that teammate behind you. You don't really got to worry so much about messing up a passing opportunity and ruining it all. It does look like the toe is strong enough in this car that it's very difficult to defend.
He's going to try now. The Slug is going to try to make that move, but it's every time on that outside line because Zunega is now on that inside, but he does make it work. Look at that. They're going now side by side. Nice work from the Slug. Goes back to that first position, but now they're coming up there. Oh. They're so close to each other. They're really looking to see if the net code is working.
Yeah, Jorge had a great run down through the carousel there. I don't know if he had a great run or Slug just had a bad one. I don't know what the heck. He had some huge closing speed.
Yeah, look at this, and they're going now side by side over there, and they're
they're gonna make contact.
Major crash, but that means that the Slug is there out. Logan McKenzie is still in. I do see that George Nega needs to go into the pit, and that means that we're gonna have a race for Logan McKenzie and Matt Zepka for the win. And Logan McKenzie, is he gonna make it, or is it gonna be Matt Zepka? Look at this. This is going to be the white flag, the last lap. This is going to be the race. Is Matt Zepka gonna go for it? You were telling Chris, it's going to be on that last lap. You want to be in that second position. That's where Matt Zepka is. He's 2/10 away. Is he going to make that work over here? Going to go to the bus stop.
He's going to have to put his elbows out, man. I know he's a clean driver and he wants to keep this clean, but you got to make him a move.
They're going to go side by side over here. Oh, he's backing out. But he's holding that position, so it's not done yet. They can still come back. He is going to try it on that outside. That's not going to work. Go back to the inside. Make it work in that last corner. He's so close. Oh, and Matt Zepka. Is it going to be Logan McKenzie? Logan McKenzie is going wide. That means that Matt Zepka can't get any closer. And it's Logan McKenzie now fighting for his position. Wants to have that second win. But is it going to be Matt Zepka? Matt Zepka needs to get any closer. I don't think he's going to make it. Or is he going to make it? He's diving into this last corner. They're going... But it is Logan McKenzie who's there celebrating his position. And Matt Zepka comes in as second position. Very, very, very well done. And then we see the Slug actually going into the pit. So he's going to lose a position over Francois Schink. Jerome Bajolas does really good position. Goes up to the fourth. And then we see over there we see Daniel Smith, James Carr fighting over there. Anything in the back, Jacob Wally.
Yeah, Ronald Method, Jacob Wally, Aaron Law, these guys bringing it down to the line as well. And that's about it.
That was an interesting end with again the Slug, who was a victim of that part for such good position and then got hit. or hit. I don't know. We'll have to look at the replay. But it's Logan McKenzie who took that first position. Matt Zepka, who nearly gave me a heart attack and went into a second position. Congratulations, those two guys. Wow. All right. Are we getting any results? I don't think so. We're still waiting for a couple of drivers. Here, one of our favorite drivers, Jacob Ashe. We haven't spoken about him. Not very happy, I think, currently with that 21st position, but 5 positions up from where he started.
Woo!
Wow.
A lot going on. Well, hey, let's start bringing in some folks here so we can start chatting. Sorry, I always hate dragging people in there, Jerome. I know you guys are probably chatting in the waiting room as well, so sorry to do that, Anya, by surprise there. But let's talk about the race, man. It was a lot of fun to watch throughout the field. It looked like you and Francois had some great battling throughout, kind of found each other and ended up one spot overall, though, still with a great top 4 finish. How did it feel out there?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the end was really, really interesting with Francois. I was actively trying to disturb his line at the bus stop every lap, like pulling on his left and hoping he would make a mistake. But he drove very, very well. I really like to do this kind of battle with him. It happens often, and I really like it. And yeah, we were running for 5th, and so and in the end we just went 3rd and 4th, I guess. To some people in the front had some penalties that I didn't even notice. So good for us.
Great stuff, man. Well, was this one of the races that were excited about? It seemed obviously a little less technical and a little more drafty. Is this suit your racing style, or do you prefer the tighter turns?
Yeah, well, you know, I have like 2 racing styles, and this one, you know, it's you have to be patient because like a lot of people like got a penalty because 9Xs go out really fast in a 1-hour race. So it was really about like being patient and, you know, like, yeah, not making too many mistakes. So yeah.
Jerome, do you know how we call that?
What?
We call that sublime finesse.
Sublime finesse. Yeah, I prefer that one.
Yeah.
Well, somebody who showed that in spades tonight was also in the booth here with us right now is Matt Shepka, man, finishing out with a 2nd place finish overall. Obviously, would have loved to see how that would have played out with all 4 of you guys in play on the last lap, but showed a lot of patience and you were able to put yourself in a position there at the end to battle for the win. How'd that feel tonight?
It was very satisfying. I told myself I got top 5, I'd be very happy, and I got 2nd place, so I have to be very happy with that. People may have thought I was fuel saving, but I didn't really have a plan. I just didn't want to battle people early on. But yeah, I don't know, it was a fun race. I was excited and very happy. It was very sweaty, but thank you.
You seem to have a little bit different pit strategy than most of the other drivers. You came in all by your lonesome. Was that surprising to you, or was that on purpose?
Honestly, I should have came in a little earlier. Looking back at it, it was me, Jorge, and Francois, and then trading places, and that led Slug catch up, and then trading places, and that led Logan catch up, and that's when I was like, okay, let me back out. I don't want to pit when everyone else pits, because then you're gonna rely on other people to break into pit lane. You know, it's on the racing line. So all that came into play, and then also coming out of the pits, you don't have as much momentum going forward. So I thought if I had the same exact pit time as them, I'd have the momentum coming up the hill where I'd be able to close the gap. And I ended up passing everyone except for Logan, but Logan came out about a second ahead of me, and then I was able to close the gap coming up the hill and kind of keep myself in the hunt.
Well, man, it was a lot of fun to watch you guys race tonight. It kept it close. An hour-long race can get pretty strung out, but we saw some great battling throughout. And somebody who kind of just slowly worked his way up through the field, ending up 8 spots overall on that top spot, Logan McKenzie. Man, Logan, talk to us about how the race was for you.
Well, I did everything that I wanted to do. I fuel saved like crazy, which allowed me to overcut all the cars there and jump to the front of the line and be there at the end. And I had a feeling it was either going to be sit there in third and hold off Matt for a podium, or something was going to happen with Jorge and Slug. Maybe they slowed down and I get past one of them, and something a little bit more than that happened, but I'm still grateful for that victory.
Yeah, this was a definitely, and I think Jerome nailed it on the head there, just being patient and waiting for your spots, because you just never know what's going to happen. We saw it sounds like some folks meet that 9 incident penalty limit, maybe some speeding penalties, who knows, but a little bit of slowdowns here and there. Anything can kind of break the field wide open. So that'll be really awesome to see as we go to these types of courses in the future. And I was just looking it up here, but we are now officially over halfway through the season, deep into it. We got Brands Hatch Grand Prix next week for a sprint race, which is, first of all, one of my favorite tracks. And, that one's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I'm personally looking forward to that. I really, really hope I can make it. But how do you feel about Brands Hatch?
We've been there once before for the opener of season 3. We didn't have a big field at the time, but I was outpacing Francois and Jerome and Slug there, and I kind of ran away with the win. So probably be a bit more difficult to do that in a sprint car, and of course things are different season to season, but I'd love to just show up to Brands Hatch with a fast car and turn in another performance like this.
Great stuff, man. Hey, we'll go through. It looks like that's all the people that wanted to talk to us today. So we'll go through the way we started and let you guys give any final hellos, how you doings, or shout outs, whatever we want to call them. Looks like we got a lot of fans out there for a lot of you guys watching the stream. Jerome, you're up first.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Congratulations to Logan, and also to Matt. Super second place for him. That's very nice to see. And thank you guys for broadcasting. And that will be that. And welcome back to John Lozon, my teammates. Nice to see him back on the track.
Yeah, got to be awesome to see him. We loved he cannot wait to hear his stories later as well. Really appreciate him joining us in the broadcast booth there for a few nights. Look forward to his insights. So we're sad to see him go, but happy to see him back on the track with you. Let's see, Matt, go ahead.
First, my girlfriend for letting me practice so much, because that's all I do now. Shout out to Francois for all the tips, tricks, and everything. Shout out to Logan for not letting me just have a first win, but I have to earn it. So not yet, but soon. Shout out to Ray and my team, Aaron and Jake. Jake, we need to talk about some strategy on you holding up people behind me when you have a blue flag, but that's another time. Shout out to Slug also, because this league is just really well run. And everyone who races in it, it's very fun to race with you. And you guys for broadcasting it, because it's really fun to watch this back. And thank you. That's all.
Awesome,
Matt,
man. Well, yeah, you had some fans out there. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Matt, I just want to say I'm sorry I was yelling so much. If you
yell at Logan, man. Yell at Logan instead.
You guys were having an awesome race. Logan, as race winner, second race winner now in this championship. It's Wojciech Swerdovic who had 2 victories, and now it's you as well. You were already a long time in the lead. You're going to extend that with a big margin right over there. What's your next goal?
Well, it's great to be at the midway point of the season, having this crazy run of races, a second, first, and was Road Atlanta? Yeah, so that's 2 wins in a row. It's happening right when I need it. It means that I can be, more cautious when it comes to racing. I'm going to be looking at Francois, and I think overall I'm still slower on pace than Slug, Francois, Jorge, of course, but he hasn't run enough races. So I've definitely stolen a few, and it's nice to be able to be in this position to be able to coast.
I don't think you stole anything. It's consistency. You're always up there in the front, and I think that's what makes this race and this whole championship so interesting. Logan, any shout outs from your perspective?
Well, I have to shout out Matt. I felt really bad when I was like, damn, I'm gonna take his first win.
Don't worry. We felt sorry as well.
But no, it's due. It's coming. Mid-Ohio and here he had great pace. That's great to see. And shout out to Slug, of course. Great teammate. We were setting each other up all throughout this race, working together. I'm sure you saw the move where I gave him the lead. And then we just, we worked together. It's just a shame that we couldn't go across the line together.
Yeah, the slug is. I think you said it really nice in the reports that you write down. The slug, it's either high or it's low, and this time again it was a low. But we hope to see him in our next race back and get another high. Great race. I want to thank all the drivers. Again, 30 drivers on the track. And Logan, I have good news. We didn't see any blinking cars, so I could actually follow the race.
That is fantastic to hear. It was quite a race to come back and see.
Oh man, this was an amazing race. We saw a lot, and we saw the whole hour. It was a great part. I am going to bed right now, so I want to thank everybody for watching. Chris, any last words before we turn it down?
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to try just to make sure everybody knows we've got the last 3 races of the Underdog Racing League, which is Wednesday nights. And so we've got Vegas coming up this week, and schedule permitting, we will definitely be broadcasting that, of course. And then we're off for BRL on Sunday. So I just wanted to say I forgot to say this at the BRL race, to all the moms out there, happy Mother's Day. And we'll pick it back up with Sunday Night Skippy on Sunday night.
All right. Well, sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, thanks all for watching, and see you next time here at CAVOK Racing Network.